think tank with chapters across India. It deals with issues of national and international security and engages various stakeholders on the issues of geopolitics, technology, democracy, borders, social media, and cyber threats. Today's conference on Bharat Vidya and Africa aims to bring to light various aspects associated with this topic, thereby sparking thoughtful discussions and stimulating new ideas. इस इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस में उपस्थित सभी मुख्य अतिथि को मेरा नमस्कार। कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए मैं रागिनी से अनुरोध करती हूँ कि वह मंच पर आएं और इस कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए सरस्वती वंदना की ओर बढ़ें। मैं आप सबसे अनुरोध करती हूँ कि सरस्वती वंदना के लिए कृपया खड़े हो जाएं।
Thank you, Ms. Ragini and Ms. Ranjana, for invoking God's blessing today to this beautiful Saraswati Vandana. With a couple of hot smiles and golden glory of this morning, a very warm welcome to our honorable dignitaries, respected presenters for today, distinguished members and amicable scholars. With the blessings of supreme power, we commence today's program with the fourth academic session of the fourth HHRS International Conference. The session on the theme India and Africa, Challenges and Prospects. And this session will be chaired by our distinguished Dr. Rajiv Nayan Sir, who is a Senior Associate at MP IDSA. So may I please request Dr. Rajiv Nayan Sir to be on this stage and all other presenters for today, that is Dr. Satyaprakash Prasad Sir and our Honorable Major General Anuj Mathur Sir. Professor Bankabu Nathan will be joining from Uganda online. We should now commence the program with a felicitation ceremony, and for that, I would now like to invite Ishita to felicitate Dr. Satya Sir. Dr. ma'am to felicitate Dr. Rajiv Nayan, sir. A huge round of applause. And Mr. Sudhanshu to felicitate Major General Arvind Mathur, sir. A huge round of applause for all our presenters and our honorable chair, sir. Thank you, Dr. Rajiv Nayan, for chairing this session. Thank you, sir. Dr. Rajiv Nayan is a senior research associate at Manohar Parrikar Institute of Defence Studies and Analysis, IDSA, New Delhi. He has been working with the institute since 1993, when he specializes in international relations, security issues, especially the politics of nuclear disarmament, export control, non-proliferation, and arms control. He was a visiting research fellow at the Japan Institute of International Affairs, Tokyo, where he published his monograph, Non-Proliferation Issues in South Asia. He was also a senior researcher at Peace Research Institute, Oslo, senior visiting research fellow at King's College, London, and visiting Fulbright scholar at the Center for International Cooperation, New York University. He holds a PhD and a Master of Philosophy in Disarmament Studies and a Master of Arts in International Relations from Jawaharlal Nehru University in New Delhi. So we welcome our very honorable chair, sir. Thank you, sir, for chairing this session. The first presenter for today, Dr. Satya Prakash Prasad, dons various roles in the university as an academic as well as heading the responsibilities such as Honorary Assistant Controller of Examinations and Central Public Information Officer, Jamia Millia Islamia. Moreover, he draws immense satisfaction in closely working with students and researchers, and he looks forward to intensifying to contribute in academic as well as corporate bliss to the university. Our second presenter, Major General Anuj Mathur, VSM, an alumnus of the National Defence Academy, Kandapur, was commissioned into the 10th Battalion of the Jammu and Kashmir Rifles Regiment. The General Officer has held a variety of sensitive and important instructional staff and command appointments in all types of terrain and operational environments, from glaciated areas to our island territories. He commanded his unit in the Kashmir Valley during Operation Parakram with Elan. He also commanded a brigade regimental training center, a sub-area, and an area. He is actively involved in spreading awareness concerning geopolitics, national security, Kashmir and China issues through a variety of means. He is a recipient of the prestigious national level Atal Shaurya Shikhar Samman. A huge round of applause for our honorable Major General, Mr. Anuj Mathur. Our third presenter for today, Professor Bankagur Nanthan, will be joining us online from Uganda, who is the Dean, School of Arts and Social Sciences, Kampala University, Uganda. So I request Dr. Satya Prakash Prasad, sir, to take the floor and view our audience about his paper.
Thank you, Pritika. Honorable Chair of the session, the co-panelists, delegates, and your audience. I'm really thankful to FANS for giving me this opportunity to speak on diasporic resilience, reimagining the lives of Indian indentured laborers through the lens of religion. Well, when we talk about human existence, we always draw terms of references from multiple pointers. And among all, religion comes at the very core to identify ourselves with the rest of the world. And how this religion played an important role, and still plays an important role for those who have parted from their homeland, and they are living in different parts of the world as the process of remedial, indentured laborers. So, in the wake of the abolition of slavery in 1833, the British Empire faced a critical labor shortage. And this demand led to the implementation of indentured labor system, which saw the mass migration of over 1 million individuals from India to various British colonies, including Mauritius, Guyana, Trinidad, and others. While the harsh realities of their experiences, both during arduous journey and under the brutal condition of sugar plantation, have been documented. These are very well documented by different writers and thinkers. The role of religion in shaping their lives and identities remains underexplored. I am trying to examine the religious practices of indentured laborers as a crucial element of their diasporic resilience. Drawing on available literature, including Pulitude, written by Carter and Godapoli in 2002, explore how diverse religious traditions, including Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, served as anchors of cultural identity and fostered community formation amidst the hardship of displacement and exploitation. My paper will reaffirm the concept of religious materiality, which are objects and practices, and rituals provided, these rituals provided solace, hope, and sense of unity for the indentured population. By shifting the focus from more suffering to their inner journeys, I intend to reveal the agency and resilience exhibited by these individuals through the practice of their faith. Apravasi Ghat, a point of arrival and significance. This was constructed in 1849 in Port Louis, Mauritius. The Apravasi Ghat served as a pivotal immigration depot for Indian indentured labor diaspora. In 1834, the British government, seeking to replace slave labor after its abolition, selected Mauritius as the launching pad for the Great Experiment. The success of this system led to its adoption by other colonies, ultimately seeing nearly 2.2 million individuals, primarily from India, transported worldwide under indentured contracts or agreement. Apravasi Ghat received nearly 500,000 of indentured laborers between 1834 to 1920. These individuals, primarily from India, were destined for work in Mauritius sugarcane plantation or further transshipment to the other British colonies. The Ghat architectural features, particularly the iconic state, serve as a tangible symbol of the monumental human movement and the global economic system that fueled it. Parabolis' concept of pulitude, introduced in his work, Voices from the Apravasi Ghat and Indentured Imaginaries, offers a fresh perspective on this period. Pulitude emerged in the 1990s as a response to the exclusion of indentured experience from discussion of cultural identity, which often favored solely Afrocentric narrative, while drawing inspiration from Negritude, a 20th century movement celebrating black cultural identity. Pulitude is a distinct, neither replicating nor opposing it. Parabolis emphasizes the Apravasi Ghat staircase as a powerful symbol, representing the interconnectedness of individuals from diverse backgrounds who cross these stages, porting shared experience despite cultural and geographical differences. Thus, the Apravasi Ghat embodies the collective memory of indentured journey, encompassing its diversity, historical complexity, and ongoing cultural relevance. Hargobian and Basu describe Indian indentured laborers as globally migratory, participating in vast movement across Asia and the Indian Ocean, the Caribbean in 19th century. While this diverse group reflected India's rich tapestry of cultures, religion, and caste, many were agriculturalists, accustomed to seasonal movement within India. However, their food migration to distant colonial plantation triggered profound cultural anxieties. One major concern for these Indian was the crossing of Kala Pani, the Black Water, a term signifying the vast and unknown ocean separating them from their homeland. This journey was fueled by rumors and apprehensions regarding religious conversion and potential violation of cultural practices under colonial rule. These anxieties stemmed partly from the recent Sepoy rebellion, Sepoy mutiny in 1857 in India, where British attempt to enforce cultural changes, including religious conversion, sparked widespread resistance. The rebellion solidified fears among Indians about potential coercion of their religious belief and cultural practices under British rule. Furthermore, caste anxieties permeated the anxieties of indentured laborers. As picture notes, rumors spread about potential forced consumption of beef and pork, which were considered taboo in certain communities. These anxieties were deeply ingrained, leading to instances of harassment and desertion during recruitment and transit. Adding to these anxieties was the initial provision of preserved beef by the colonial administration during the early stages of indentured immigration. This unfamiliar food clashed with the dietary restriction of both Hindu and Muslim communities. While Muslims cautioned the halal compliance of the preserved mutton, Hindus feared it might actually be beef, further fueling their anxieties. Overall, the cultural anxieties of Indian indentured laborers stem from a complex interplay of factors, including fear of religious conversion, violation of cultural practices, and unfamiliar dietary restriction. These anxieties reveal the profound impact of displacement and enduring power of cultural identity in the face of colonial process. Another two noted writer, Khal Torapalli and Marina Carter, collaborative text, this is Solitude, published in 2002, offers a window into the soul of Indian indentured labor diaspora. Their work reveals the profound significance of religious practices and belief in shaping the cultural identity and resilience of these individuals, uprooted from their homes and thrust into unfamiliar and often harsh environments. For the indentured laborers, religious texts serve as a lifeline. Their displacement and hardship. The Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the Ramayana weren't mere collection of verses. They were sources of solace, strength, and guidance. These sacred texts provide comfort in the moment of despair, offered moral compasses in uncertain times, and instilled a sense of hope for a brighter future. The Koli Sardars emerged as crucial figures in preserving and promoting Indian religious practices. They went beyond their official duties, becoming leaders and organizers within the community. From arranging religious events and fundraising activities to advocating for the construction of places of worship, the Sardars ensured that flames of faith remained lit for their fellow laborers. Historical reports like the Cooley Commission report and letters from indentured laborers themselves document the persistent demand of religious freedom. These documents reveal their yearning and for designated prayer spaces, shrines, and permission to perform specific rituals integral to their faith. The demands highlighted the critical role of religious practices played in their lives, offering a sense of normalcy and connection to their cultural heritage amidst the disorienting reality of their forced migration. The indentured experience wasn't solely defined by hardship and loss, it also involved adaptation and cultural evolution. In instances like reunion, indentured laborers borrowed elements from local Catholic processions, weaving them into their own devotional songs and cultural expressions. This act of adaptation demonstrates the remarkable ability to maintain their identity while engaging with their new surroundings. As communities established themselves, they started celebrating seasonal and spiritual festivals. These celebrations were not mere displays of festivity, they were acts of cultural preservation replicating cherished tradition from their homeland. The familiar sights, sounds, the smells associated with the festivals provided a sense of continuity and belonging in an otherwise unfamiliar land. Parekh, another critic, emphasizes the profound resonance of Ramayana with the indentured experience, the epic themes of exile, suffering, struggle, and eventual return mirrored their own circumstances, offering a sense of shared narrative and identity. The exile of Lord Rama, his separation from loved ones, and his perseverance in the face of adversity deeply resonated with the indentured laborers, who themselves were experiencing similar hardship. Several factors contributed to the Ramayana's enduring appeal among the indentured laborers. The shared theme mirrored their own experiences, making it emotionally relatable. The simpler plot compared to the Mahabharata made it accessible to a wider audience, fostering a sense of shared understanding within the community. Finally, the emphasis on the familiar relationship and social conduct in the Ramayana provided moral guidance and a sense of community for the indentured laborers, reminding them of the values and bonds they held dear. Religious practices and beliefs thus served as a critical pillar for the Indian indentured labor diaspora by on sacred texts, shared rituals, and adaptation of the cultural practices that sustained their sense of identity, fostered community, and found solace amidst the challenges of dislocation and hardship. These practices offered them a sense of continuity with their past and provided the strength and resilience needed to navigate the uncertainties of their present and build a future for themselves and their descendants. The religious practices, community gathering, the cultural traditions, and of the indentured laborers formed a complex tapestry that not only sustained them through the hardship of displacement, but also laid the foundation for the vibrant cultural landscape of their adopted community. Religious diversity of faith like Hinduism and Islam form the core of the indentured laborers' religious landscape. Festivals like Ramjan, Muharram, and Holi held significant importance for Muslim and Hindu communities respectively. Muharram transformed into a popular festival where people from various faiths participated. It also became a form of cultural resistance from colonial rule, occasionally leading to the clashes with authorities. Post-independence Mauritius saw official recognition of various ethnic and religious groups, including Hindus, Muslims, and Christians. This classification system based on cultural and religious affiliation had complex historical roots. The village Bathak served as a central hub for social and religious life. This community center offered a space for evening gathering, reciting religious texts, and maintaining tradition from India. Traces of Indian caste system were also evident, with individuals following social norms and customs associated with their respective social classes. Birth, death, and festival rituals were observed in a similar manner as in India, reflecting their connection to their homeland. Religious leadership, like Brahmin priests known as Pandits or Purohit, held a position of authority and guided religious and social practices. Despite differences in religious beliefs, communities interacted closely. Hindus and Muslims often participated in each other's celebrations, fostering a sense of unity and cultural exchange. Religious and moral stories, including the Gita Path and Srimad Bhagavad Katha, were narrated in Bathak, perpetuating cultural tradition. The first temple, Gokula, established in 1867, exemplified the dedication of preserving religious practices in new environment. We have some literary reflection encompassing these religious practices being followed by the indentured labor. One such book is The Tamarind Tree by Brij Bilal, which depicts the symbolic significance of cultural landscape such as Standard 3 in preserving memories of the indentured experience. Commemorative effort like literature from this period highlight the pain and loss associated with the indentured alongside the importance of remembering the past and celebrating contribution of the indentured community. In conclusion, we can say that religion still appear to be a kind of pivotal, space where different indentured labor from the different communities, different castes still remain in sync with their traditions and their, religious consideration. So I would say, for a man, it is important to find roots, the point of reference. So I consider still, by going through this whole document and the literature of the indentured labor, one can safely assume that religion is still at the core of, creating a sense of connectedness with their root. And recent happening like yesterday, the ambassador, the former ambassador of Mauritius, clearly indicated that the flights are full to its end, and reaching Ayodhya to see, and to do the darshan of Lord Rama. So it actually emphasizes and accentuates that religion has its core in the memory of the indentured labor, and the future generation is actually living with this hope that one day there would be a time when we can get reconnected completely. And in other words, I would say that the immigrants there, or the indentured laborers there, they are preserving our religion far more tightly than what we could in India. So thank you very much. With this note, I will let you.
Thank you, Dr. Satyaprakash sir, for your insightful vision on our theme for today. I would now like to call upon stage Major General Anuj Mathur sir to share his insights on our today's theme, India and Africa, Economic Cooperation.
Esteemed Chair and friends, happy morning.
Happy morning, sir.
Am I audible there? I will not know unless I get my happy morning back. Happy morning. Yeah, now I am audible. Yes. And because I am audible, I will not require mic. I will start by telling you all a small thing which happened to me 25 years ago. 25 years ago, I was attending an event like this on a topic which was absolutely foreign to me. And during the lunch, I was only attending, mind you, attending. In fact, the General Anand will remember, agree with that. I was detailed to go and attend that event. During the lunch break, I had a conversation with somebody, and that somebody was little, impressed or whatever. He says, why don't you take the next session, speak in the next session? I told him, look, neither do I know the issue well, nor am I prepared. He says, if you're not prepared, then talk from the heart. I did that, and exactly the similar thing has happened today. So today also, I have no paper, so I will present my heart. This is a very important issue. I hope you are okay in English, or you want me to talk Hindi or mixed or something? You're okay. First thing I will request, with an apology, I will tell him that Ram is Ram and not Rama. He is Sri Ram. He is our faith. I hope he is not mine. And some history about these Girmitias. It was back in 1757 when Robert Clive, like as always, with the help of some of us, won the Battle of Plassey. And that victory in the Battle of Plassey was because of some acts by Mir Jafar and Siraj-ud-Dawla was defeated. That was the time they picked up this system of divide and rule. And they unleashed that system of divide and rule. I am coming to Girmitias. From then to the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, they siphoned off £1 billion worth to Britain. 1 billion at that time. Ladies and gentlemen, and the children, remember that. From then to 1857, they siphoned off another 315 million. And they were still not satisfied. And then came the time when they required manpower to take care of their colonies in rest, some parts of the world. And that is where, ladies and gentlemen, they started taking this labor from India. Call them what you like, Jahajis, Girmitias, and whatever. And I will quote two incidents. I'll take off where he left. The religion formed the fundamental of retaining the identity. And when they were not left with enough money to get back, but then to stay there itself and keep themselves what they are, rooted to their basics, rooted to their own religious beliefs, systems, and culture. There was a Muslim gentleman, I don't think I can recognize his name. Muslims were a fair minority out of the people who were taken as Girmitias. So he was taken to West Indies. Having gone through whatever misery and ordeal he had to, this gentleman established a mosque there. He spoke about temples. I will tell you, he established a mosque. What difficulty he must have been through. And then the practices, the beliefs, the things which they must know flew from them. It was as good as, if they allow me to say that, as good as Makkah, Medina. And they pursued their religious activities. Another gentleman, I'm sure all of you know who was V.S. Naipaul. Any child can tell me who was V.S. Naipaul. Children, come on, have a heart. Someone rise and tell me who was V.S. Naipaul. We are talking of Girmitias for last day and a half. V.S. Naipaul was one of them who, as he says very rightly, is a Nobel laureate. And a Nobel laureate for literature. He authored many books. Where did he draw the spirit, the thing from for writing the books? He visited Hampi. Now don't tell me where is Hampi. You don't know where is Hampi. Can someone tell me what is Hampi? Where is Hampi? Oh, yeah. Anyway, it's in Karnataka. He said, and I quote him, he said, I went to Hampi and I was destroyed by the way the culture, top end, architecture was destroyed. And he says, I felt like he was a fourth generation Indian and he wanted to get back to his roots to find out where his forefathers came from. And when he saw that state of affairs in Hampi, he said, I cried. Then he went back to West Indies and created those amazing books, one of which got him the Nobel Prize. What I am trying to tell you is that you can be taken to wherever, you can be made to go through whatever, but if you decide to do what must be done, nobody can stop you. It does not matter, ladies and gentlemen, what you have. More importantly, children, listen to this. It does not matter what you have. What circumstances you were transported to West Indies. What matters is what you do with what you have. It does not matter. APJ Abdul Kalam, born in the fishing hamlets of Ramnathpuram. Look, greatest scientist, didn't stop there. President of India. You have to decide what you want to do. There's a small story. How much time do I have, sir? I'll tell you another story. There was a gentleman who was very fond of reading a newspaper. Now, he will come home every evening and for hours together he will read a newspaper. One day he got back home, his small child wanted him to play with her, 6-year-old daughter. He says, Dad, play with me. He wanted to, go through his paper. He told him, no, I'll finish this paper and I'll play with you later. Suddenly, that man saw an advertisement of a global agency which had a map of the world. A sudden rush of situational brilliance. He tears off that global paper and leaves it. And he says to the child, "Ye beta maine bhar diya. This is your jigsaw. And the moment you can assemble the world, assemble the globe, I will play with you." And he thought, "Ki bhai, ab mere ko mil gaye 2-3 ghante, now I can read my paper." In 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, that child assembled that paper and made the... He was shocked. Shocked beyond belief. When the child saw her father shocked, she says, "Don't worry, Dad. I don't know where West Indies is. I don't know where Kolkata is, where West Bengal is, where Bihar is from there. Some people have gone somewhere. But while you were reading the newspaper, I saw a face on the other side of the paper. I am not aware what is where, but I am aware where nose should be, ears should be, head should be, forearms should be, and that is how I have assembled it. And I believe she said, get the man right, world will become right. She got the man right, and the world became right. It's a very big lesson, ladies and gentlemen. You have to get the person right. And that is exactly what the British did. They got the right people to go to the right places. And then these right people in the right places did the right things, and that is why we have so many of them here. Now it is time for us to get connected with them. We are doing it. I'm not saying it is not happening. But now is the time to connect with them all ways. Religiously, culturally, civilization-wise, whichever way you want. Promote trade. They are your people, and now your country has its islands across the globe. All that we need to do is to get them together, develop our trade relations with wherever our people are, in Africa, in West Indies, in Fiji, or wherever else. Energize them, synergize them, and get to your rightful place on the globe, right on top. Ladies and gentlemen, become the one true can and a very important platform for you to rise to that level can will be provided by these Girmitia countries, because they are yours. All that you need to do is to connect with them. Connect with them. Bring them up. Take them along and get them. I told you I'll talk my heart. I have no paper, I have no prepared. But this idea of having a conference on Indo-Burmese countries and Indo-Africa is a sheer brilliance of Gulukji, Indreji Baisa, and the fans, people who decided to do this. Because this will take it very important. You have the government with you. Yesterday, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, your External Affairs Minister made a statement that our trade with Africa has grown to $1 billion USD. And he says it has grown to $1 billion USD and it is growing. Counting, ladies and gentlemen. That is what is required. And that is what is happening. I hope I've been able to ignite something in the young bodies of the people who are sitting behind. Remember, it's your country. You have to do, you have to take it where you shoot. It's your time. We are a young nation, but that window for that youth is available till 2050. Nobody can stop you from becoming #1 nation of the world by 2050. Good luck, best wishes, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking viewpoints. Thank you very much. Professor Vamulu Nathan will be joining us online, but due to some technical issue, she will not be able to join in now. So in the upcoming sessions, we will schedule her presentation. So now, thank you, presenters. I would like to invite Dr. Rajiv Nair, sir, to share a few viewpoints on this theme.
Nelson Mandela Center for Peace and Conflict Study Law Faculty, and Himalayan Center for Himalayan Studies. Director is sitting over here. My colleagues, people of interest, Dr. Prakash Prasad, and very energetic Major General Anuj Mathur. Ladies and gentlemen, I have given the task to conclude, although it has been virtuous for us. So, after two wonderful presentations, I think my task has been laid quite easy, and you can say easy. Dr. Prasad talked about obedience. The word originated from the agreement. The agreement between the laborers, which generally drawn from, which had been drawn from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and to an extent Tamil Nadu. These states contributed to that workforce. But what is significance about that India and the culture which they preserved over the years has become a role model for the diaspora community and diasporic study at the same time. That traders were going, workers were going, but what was happening? Cultural assimilation was taking place. Cultural preservation was not a task of those who had migrated from what in diasporic study we call homeland. From homeland to coastal. In the homeland and coastal, both witnessed the same cultural roots, and the lady who has been given Padma Award by the Indian government, Sarita. Since I come from Bihar, and I know Bhojpuri a bit, but if you read her book, then you realize when she sings or when she talks about all the Bhojpuri songs, you'll find that we have diluted our Bhojpuri while she is still preserving. And it is a very chaste Bhojpuri, pure Bhojpuri country. So this is how they have been maintaining their culture. And quite important thing about it, that they never clashed with the people who were staying in Africa. They learned to work with them. And they, in fact, they connected. They preserved their culture without clashing with the local population. Or wherever Westerners went to any area, any barren land, you can say, or any new area of profession, they tried to decimate the culture of that particular region. Sometimes they called it indigenous people, sometimes Red Indians, but we never did. And so we learned how to coexist. Why did we do it, especially in Africa? General Babu talked about Umesh Lalwani, who was studying the same group. Some stayed in Mauritius on the eastern coast, and many went to Canada on that side. And Nepal, in fact, had gone that side, that Caribbean side. And you read his novel, many of which we have referred to. I am a great fan of Premchand. But if you read House of Mr. Viswas, sometimes you will find that Premchand is written in English. How the migrant family maintained his culture, how that family got that family's daughter married to the person of his own caste, that family's caste. So our caste was preserved. And in fact, we can remember people coming from Mauritius, way back, I think in 70s, I don't know what the situation was like, coming back to Patna, staying in 5-star hotels, and getting their daughters married and taking away from there. So they say, okay, they are snatching away rooms from the country. So this is how they see how deep rooted. Still they are practicing the same same caste rituals, you may say, but sad, bad or sad, I don't know. But yeah, I would say that they were just preserving. So this is how you find that the cultural preservation is great. And that is the role model, this is what I'm saying. Then once I am coming back to Africa. And Africa, like Mauritius, many say it's named after Marichi, Rishi Marichi. And many areas, from India, we generally call it Sankhali. Sankhali, many say Kushri, Kusland. So it has a very old connect. And that, I think this is, the theme is the Parampara. Our own Indian knowledge system. In fact, last year I written an article which is published by Blitz, again, Kusika, General Research Inquiry. How Uttar Pradesh was impressed by or influenced by Indian Gyan Parampara. In the film made news, but in the film you will find that many wrong goods have been cited. So because in one of the scenes, you will find that the background music is playing Gita. In fact, that was Kalidas. So in the original, if you read, study that, even Oppenheimer was a great admirer of Kalidas, not only Gita. In fact, a day before when there was anxiety in the scientific community about the future of the test, the fate of the test, he was again quoting Gita. When it was tested, the bomb was tested, then he remembered Gita's sloka, and then it changed his heart. So he opposed hydrogen bomb test. You know, this will lead to destruction. So this is how the knowledge, Indian knowledge system we are talking about it. How was to have Kutumbaka when we talk about. So you want to give a framework that only destruction is not the path. We have to check the destruction. Similarly, we should not sound arrogant when we talk about our own Gyan Parampara. Even African Gyan Parampara needs to be studied, which we are not doing. If you read African Gyan Parampara, you will find many similar traits existing there. Of course, there is diversity in Africa. Africa Union has got 55 member countries, and we have been there. But you find that our Srada system is even in Africa. You will find both of us are nature worshippers. Similarly, you will find around food and many, when I went to South Africa in 2003, many of the artifacts, many of the dogs, many of the paintings, creatures, you will find it, if you look at it, it's from my village. Forget about high, what Milton Singer says, high tradition and low tradition, high level. So you'll find that what we see in our villages could be found in African countries, even in South Africa, Pretoria and Johannesburg. So they are still maintaining, they are still preserving, and in fact they are also struggling. Despite colonial rule, we are also connected by decolonization, equality of human race. There should not be any discrimination on the basis of race or caste. So both of us are talking about that. So I think I have got limited time, so I will not talk much. President Chair remarks will not be longer than the speaker's remarks, so I will keep that in my mind. So, but yes, this is what we have to do. In a new circumstances, how culture may be used for deepening the relationship. Both are partner of roles of Prime Minister when he went there and he gave 10 principles for connecting India and Africa. I think those 10 principles are quite relevant. And the most important part is the backbone. And the backbone, many will say that it is economy. Economy, of course, it is one of the biggest supporting factors in the relationship between Africa, a continent, and a country, India. But culture, if you somehow connect with culture, many things will fall in line. And you will find that many political differences which we share, despite having some cultural distances which have come after, after initial enthusiasm of decolonization, Africa, Afro-Asian solidarity, and many such initiatives which have been taken by Nehru, sister continents, we call Asia and Africa sister continents. And again, efforts are being made to connect the two economic corridor, and we are using, in fact, Japan. So all these are fine. I'm not disputing. We all have discussed a lot. But the hidden treasure in the culture which has been by and large ignored in our studies, ignored in our practices, and somehow what happens, we are also influenced by the Western narrative. Western narrative, just seeing that someone is very inferior, and where China is there, we have to move away from the Chinese model of exploiting their resources. Many times what happens when we talk about deepening of India and Africa relationship, we just start talking in terms of the potential they have got, minerals they have got, and how we can also exploit we exploit those capacities of Africa. I think we need to move away from that, and we have to just do the tasks which we have done, deepening, connecting two cultures, and again then building on many other edifices, many other points, many other dimensions in this comprehensive relationship which has emerged over the years, and this is our audio stuff. Thank you very much, and I once again thank all the organizers for inviting me here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nayan sir, for sharing your enlightening vision and chairing this session for a well-assimilated manner. Thank you, our presenters, Dr. Satya sir and Major General Anuj Mathur sir. Thank you very much. We now commence with the fifth academic session for today. We'll just start the session in another 5 minutes, so please hold on to your seats.
फेसबुक पेज को दिखा दीजिए, ठीक है, 5 मिनट के लिए, और सबको बोलिए कि सब्सक्राइब कर लेंगे, ठीक है।
Good morning again. We are going to start the second academic session for the day, which I would like to request Professor Abujan Hari. He is going to be the chairing this academic session. Please sir, come on the stage. I would like to invite Professor Mehtab Alam sir to kindly come on the stage and take your seat, please. The third speaker or presenter would be joining us online, Dr. P. Kapesha. She will be joining us online. We have with us Dr. Dhananjay Tripathi, sir. I would like him to come on the stage. Dr. Rajesh Kumar Manji, can you come on the stage, please? I would like to give a short introduction to the chair. Okay, Mukesh says. So I would like to give a short at this answer. Yeah. Please, at this answer. So I would like to introduce Professor Abujan Hari, who is going to chair this session. Professor Hari is working as Professor of Academic and International Studies, Jamia Millia Islamia. He received his master and PhD degree from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, and joined as faculty at Jamia, where he is working since 1997. Dr. Hari has been engaged in teaching research and research supervision at Academy of International Studies since 2007. He has researched and published extensively on the resurgence of local and regional cultures, languages, and religion. I would like to request Dr. Inderpreet Kaur to come and felicitate the chair of this academic session. Dr. Inderpreet Kaur, kindly come on the stage and felicitate Professor Abujan Hari. Now, I would like to request Sudhanshu to come on the stage and kindly felicitate Ambassador Keshwar Chuni sir. Keshwar Chuni sir served as an elected member of Parliament and Minister for a distinguished 14 years tenure, including 9 years as the Minister of Arts and Culture, held diverse portfolios including reform institution, leisure, youth development, housing and land and local government, and solid waste management, distinguished ambassador, high commissioner, extraordinary and with expeditions to Singapore, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Oman, Bangladesh, and Nepal, recognized and awarded by various Indian authorities, served as a panelist at Ministry of External Affairs. I'm delighted to introduce my colleague, Professor Mohammad Mehtab Alam Rizvi, and I would like to request Dr. Ji to come on the stage and kindly felicitate Professor Rizvi. Professor Rizvi has more than 20 years of teaching and research experience. He joined Jamia Millia Islamia in Delhi in February 2017. And before that, he worked as fellow in the Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis, New Delhi. Professor Rizvi specializes in international relations, foreign policy, and security issues, especially India's strategic relationship with countries of West Asia and North Africa. His research also focuses on political and internal development of Iran, Iran's nuclear program, Iran-China economic, political, and defense relations. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Dhananjay Tripathi, and I request Shashaji to come on the stage and felicitate Dr. Dhananjay Tripathi sir. He is a chairperson and associate professor at the Department of International Relations, South Asian University, New Delhi. His research interests include regional integration process, Europe and Southeast Asia, South Asian politics, border studies, and international political economy. Now we have Dr. Ehtisam ul Haq sir. He is an associate professor in Department of Electrical Engineering, Jamia Millia Islamia. His area of research is power electronics and its application in renewable energy drives electrical control system for artificial lighting, power quality improvement, smart grids, wireless power transfer, electric vehicles, electric traction, smart cities, etc. He did his BTech in electrical engineering from AMU and MTech from IIT Delhi. He completed his PhD from Jamia Millia Islamia in the area of power electronics and renewable energy. I would like to request Abhay to come and felicitate Dr. Haq. Now we have with us Dr. Rajesh Kumar Manchi. He is the Hindi officer of Jamia Millia Islamia. His area of interest is Grameendia and endangered labor. He has been to Mauritius several times and he is an editor of Fiji Sandesh that comes from Ministry of External. Okay. All right. So I would like to request Abhay to come and please felicitate Dr. Rajesh Ji. He's a poet and also a playwright. Have a round of applause. Now, the stage is over to the chair of the station, Professor Abhay Kaiser.
Thank you very much. And thank you to the organizer who has given me this chance. And basically, I am not going to say anything much more beginning because we have 7 speakers here. and time is very less. Basically, my work is to just, as a manager, to just manage all the program and just we have divided the time. I'm just requesting all the speakers, just please, you convey all your statement and just try to 15 minutes. Then we have to manage the next program. Now I'm requesting Ambassador Mukeshwar Chune. He's Ambassador. He's Ambassador Mauritius to India. And now I'm requesting please.
Thank you very much, Chair. Panelists, I won't mention names so that I don't make any mistake. I don't have any oversight. Distinguished guests, Sir Sri Rajan, our expert. The names that I have and just mentioned, I was really impressed by Lieutenant General Mathur. He doesn't need a mic. I need it. Distinguished guests, all protocol observed. Dear students, ladies and gentlemen, the topic on which I'm supposed to talk today, the theme is Bharat Girmitiya, emerging trends. Emerging trends. What will emerge between Bharat and Girmitiya? You have set the stage already. You mentioned about Sarita Mundu and culture. She is somebody very close to me. I call her Didi. And she has done a lot of books and done a lot of research, a lot for both. But I'm not going to talk on culture, though I have been in culture for many, many years in Mauritius. I am supposed today to talk on emerging trends. Now, I'll need some help from Ashita. Please, just put the map. Yesterday, when I was talking, I said to everybody, maybe when you look at most world maps, you will not see Mauritius. I am from Mauritius. You won't see Mauritius. But then we zoomed and came across the real map that shows how far or how close Mauritius is from India. Now, I am going to talk about the emerging trends, but before that, there are some issues that should be considered. See where Mauritius is. Up there, you have Seychelles, an island which about which you have heard, a very good tourist destination. Then, up north, you have Maldives, which you know very well. But in between, you can see an island called Agalega. Whether you can read it, I don't know from far. Agalega. And there is another one. It should have mentioned, it has mentioned British Indian Ocean Territory. I'll comment on that. That is a group of small islands called Chagos Archipelago. Chagos Archipelago has within it, it has 58 small islands. One is called Diego Garcia. I'll talk about it today. But what I'm focusing on is what we call as our EEZ. EEZ, Exclusive Economic Zone. Or Mauritius, see where Mauritius is. Our exclusive economic zone, that is the sea area that Mauritius has under its jurisdiction in the Indian Ocean, starts from down there, goes up to very near to Maldives. And there is an overlap between the claim Maldives has and the claim that Mauritius has. Mauritius is 2.3 million square kilometers. Island का छोटा है, but EEZ is very big. India's EEZ, again, I round the figures, 2.3 million square kilometers. And there is another island I want to mention Seychelles, very close again. And Mauritius and Seychelles have political leaders. Mauritius has Prime Minister, who is Girmitia's son. Seychelles has a president, who is a Girmitia's son. Two Girmitia countries, two Girmitia islands. Right? Now Seychelles has an EEZ of 1.4 million square kilometers. Altogether, Mauritius, Seychelles, and India is more than 6 million square kilometers of sea area in the Indian Ocean. Just imagine how big it is. And if in that sea area we are not secure, we are not happy, we are not peaceful, can we live in this world? And if India doesn't take its responsibility, and it has taken, if India doesn't do it, who else will do it? देखो, दुनिया में 5 oceans हैं. Arctic, Antarctic, Southern. पांचवा कौन सा है? Indian. कोई ocean है? American Ocean? British Ocean है? कोई है British Ocean? Chinese Ocean है? एक ही दुनिया में है जिसका नाम है हिंद महासागर, Indian Ocean. तो अगर Indian Ocean में इंडिया का हक न हो, India doesn't have a right, who else will have? If India doesn't overlook the Indian Ocean, who else will do it? You know how many, in 1971, when NAM was there, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and the others, they created non-aligned movement, you remember? 1971, they said the Indian Ocean has to be a zone of peace. But today, do we classify Indian Ocean as a zone of peace? No, far from that. Very far from that. Because you have wars, you have terrorists, you have human and drug, transactions in the Indian Ocean, you have pirates, you have overfishing, you have so many things, climate change, sea pollution, you have so many things that are happening over and above that. You have geopolitical challenges. All that in the Indian Ocean, the ocean that is the most popular, having the most of activities, having the most of transactions, having the most of movement of ships, this ocean is sick today. China wants to take over. Kama hai China? They want to come and take over the Indian Ocean. They want to establish themselves everywhere. They tried in Sri Lanka, failed. Now they are trying in Maldives, they are in Djibouti, they are everywhere. They are hinterland in the African continent. But believe me, as Sir said earlier, when China comes, it overcomes. When China comes, it exploits. And African countries are now getting revived, and they say, we want to liberate that. You come, don't challenge our sovereignty. This is what China does. But when India goes, India doesn't go as a big brother, he goes as a partner. India goes, helps, gives the skills, gives the training to the people. Not as a big brother, but as a friend. This is India's spirit. So coming back to Agalega and Diego Garcia. Agalega is a very small island, Mauritian territory. We asked India, Mauritius asked India, please help us. We have a jetty and we have a airstrip. Help us upgrade that. India so happily did it. You know, Mauritius and India will have a special relation. yesterday खून का रिश्ता है, अपनापन है, ये कोई अटूट संबंध है, you can't do anything about it. We are very near to you as a media country. So India helped us. You know what the media says? International media in Mauritius, some, not all. The opposition in Mauritius. Oh, we want to see what's written in the MOU between Mauritius and India. See, I have been minister for 7 years with different governments. There are certain things we can't share. It is to be kept secret. Certain things we can share. And have those people who are opposing it today, being government, they will have the same opinion, they will have the same for them. To give up, Agalega is Mauritian territory. India has helped us. We have a long airstrip now. We have a better jetty. No high risks to go to Agalega. Previously, only Donia could go. Now, it's so made that other planes can go. Ships have to go very far. Small boats have to take goods and people. Now they can come close to the shore. So this is an improvement. This is development. This is how we progress in the world. And in case I'm saying, there is an emergency. What's wrong? This is my personal opinion. What's wrong if bigger ships from India have to come to Agalega? They are coming. Bigger planes from India have to come to Agalega. They are coming for our security, for the benefit of humanity, because India doesn't. India doesn't bully. It comes service oriented. So this is Agalega. I am so tempted कि अब जो संबंध था और जो संबंध बन गया है, Agalega, Mauritius, India, Agalega is Lumo, Agalega. So I want you to know Jacob Garcia is Mauritian territory. Before we got independence, 1968 we got independence, 1965 our famous colonization. You know what they did? They snatched carpets and they said this is an ocean territory which is our to you. No harm. So now Rishi Sunak spoke back your land, we don't know what. So that is a healthy, positive sign as far as Agalega is concerned. So let me, just a minute, sorry. So let me go back to the emerging trends. Mauritius, India, as I said, special relations. There are things that they have done, India has done for Mauritius that could be done with other European countries. I hope it is done. But I just want, what is SECPA? SECPA is Comprehensive Economic Cooperation and Partnership Agreement between India and Mauritius. You know what India has done? India, of course, after all the problems we went through, India said to Mauritius, we'll sign this agreement, SECPA. You can export your products to India. How many? 615 products from Mauritius to reach India. Some will be tax-free, some will have preferential trade. And you know, the main things which we produce, I'm not going to the 615, it will take 2 hours to do that. The main things, we have special sugar, we have rum and beer. These are very, very special. Even those are being imported from Mauritius into India with a very reduced tax. For some of them are not apparent. Watch the details. India can export to
to Mauritius duty-free, tax-free, preferential trade, preferential agreement, so 315 products. And please, I tell it to India, use Mauritius as the gateway. Use it as a gateway to Africa. South and Eastern Africa makes more than 30 countries. We have so many agreements with the African countries, like ACOMESA, SADC, African Union, all of them. We have signed agreements. You can send your goods through Mauritius, value addition or whatever to the African country. So let me end with concluding something. One or two more. UPI, Prime Minister announced, UPI that you have here now, our rupee, our SIM cards will be accepted anywhere in India in all platforms. Yours will also be accepted in Mauritius without any difficulty. You have a project called Sagar. Sagar, you know about it? Launched by India, security and growth for all in the region. You have your JAS, JAS. Jan, isn't it Jan? Oshadi scheme, Mauritius में आपके generic दवा बनाएंगे और बेचेंगे. From there we'll export. We have FDI, previously it was just money transaction. Now we say FDI is not that, it goes beyond. From India, we have foreign direct investment in Africa through Mauritius. Agriculture, energy, automobile, IT, only by minute. G20 is now G21. We thank India. He has been this very significant partner as a smart, it is a smart political move from India. Africa के लिए दरवाजा खुला है. And Mauritius is an African country. We are not Indian, Asian country. We are African country. So these are some. Their specialty, Mauritius and India, ISRO, and Mauritius Research Council. We are having a small satellite to be launched next year. So these are things that exceptionally is being done for Mauritius. I will be careful. I hope it happens everywhere. To end, PM Modi's G has what we call as an ascending popularity globally. Around the world, he is accepted as a very, very good leader. Global popularity. He also has local popularity. I think you agree with me. Global popularity, local popularity, and today I'm coining a word. I wish that word goes into the dictionary. When somebody is global and local, in one word, we'll call him local. Global popularity. The dictionary should have this word soon. Global popularity. So you have the best and the best, and I'm sure you will very soon, even before 2047, become or get all the qualities to become the Vishwaguru. So congratulations. Think the diaspora, Indian diaspora. We are your people in different countries, in 189 countries. We have 35 million like me outside. 35 million. Use us to do all your business. Because I always say, and we say everywhere, you can. It's an old adage. Everybody knows it, but I have to repeat it to you before I think. You can remove an Indian out of India, but you cannot remove India out of India. Out of it. You cannot remove India out of India. So then, let's wish well for the diaspora, the best for the Gir Media, and Jai Hind. Thank you.
Excellency, you have presented a very well-researched and as well as you can speak languages beyond. Yes. But you are speaking Indian language very well. And and of course the time has come. We are ready to just our Gale lecture. And we are ready because India always accepted whenever the people they came from last year on this Hind Mahasagar organized a conference on Central Asia, and there was a lot of discussion because it happened that time also. The people they migrated from other sides just to settle in India. India accepted. And now I'm very much thankful to Nancy. We are now the short time. Now the next speaker please.
Thank you, Pratik sir. I would like to request Dr. Nandez sir to come on the stage, please.
Your Excellency, the Chair of the day, this panel, and dear organizers. First of all, let me thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to be with all of you today on a topic which is not being discussed much in the academic circles. And when I received the invitation, I was just started thinking like, how can I really matter in this kind of conference, which is on Gilbertia. Then I realized that, well, I come from our region, and the language connects me to this part of the world. Gilbertia, which means in a way, in a distortion of an English word, agreement. And people also call them Jahadis. And I reminded of my small meeting with Ayman Yuklan. When I was in university time, this book, Lal Pasina, excellent one from Washington. And then I started realizing, well, we need to say something on this, as IR scholars as well. We teach about identities, how identity shapes our understanding of the world. Even if you look at the very fundamental concept in international relations, that is nation-state, somewhere the idea of identity comes into being. But interestingly, today we are talking about the Gilbertians, the uprooted people, and why they have gone for work, but what kind of identity they have. And I feel this is a human nature that will remain connected with our culture, with our history, with our roots. As I said that when I received the invitation, I started thinking how I am connected. So I'm connected through the language that is there in my household, that is Awadhi. But unfortunately, what we have seen that in Indian IR scholarship, there is not much of a work on Gilbertia. So let me thank once again the organizers for thinking that we should organize something on this topic. And I'm sure that at least some discussion, intellectual discussions will keep going on Gilbertia's issue after this. And I agree with Rajiv Banerjee, who was speaking earlier, that the power, the way it has been defined, unfortunately the international relations, we call it as an American social science, The entire concept, the ideas, the theories basically come from the West. And when it is coming from the West, materialism becomes very, very prominent. So, how the power is calculated? Power is calculated in terms of your GDP, your military, your other things. But never in terms of culture. This is a dilemma in international relations. Very recently I was going through this, Dr. Ravi Vajpayee has done an excellent book named as The Civilizational Powers. And he said that India and China are civilizational states. So if India is a civilizational state, I think it's not merely about India, it's also about outside the India. The diaspora, the Girmitias. But unfortunately, we never worked on these issues. So if somebody has to reshape the Indian foreign policy, materialism is important, of course GDP is important, of course military power is important. But what about our soft cultural identities? That is also very, very important. And here, the Girmitia question becomes important. What happened that it's a colonial powers that have captured the world, would Dunya be captured here, and then what? They set their own standards of on everybody. And unfortunately, we have not made an attempt to overcome this kind of a thing. So, post-independence, we tried something known as non-alignment movement, which is again a very political, material way of looking at the international politics, to keeping us away from it. But we have forgotten about some of the very important themes that have been discussed by one of the very important leaders of colonial times, and that is Mahatma Gandhi. He talks about what is India's contribution to the world. He was so conscious about this. And he said that peace and non-violence is our contribution to the world. He said that our culture connect is the contribution to the world. But unfortunately, this is not being taken very seriously. As I said, that one of the tragedies of international relations is that it is overwhelmed by the Western ideas and concepts. So if you are overwhelmed by the Western ideas and concepts, it's primarily the power part that you look at. The civilizational part is absolutely disconnected. And if you don't bring the civilizational part, India's identity in the international relation is not complete. Because if you don't count Dimitrians, if you don't count the diaspora, how can India's identity be complete? These are your people who are in different parts of the world. They are still attached with your roots. They still speak Awadhi, Bhojpuri. They still they celebrate all the Indian festivals. They're your people. How can you be so disconnected with this kind of a large population? And of course, it's not merely about the cultural connect. It has the political relevance, as the Excellency has pointed out. Mauritius, the Indian Ocean is becoming a new sphere of competition. Not merely India and China, but also the Western powers are interested. Because everybody knows, I think Dr. Raju Nayan must be aware of this, that how intense the conflict is there in the Indian Ocean. And we have certain advantages. We're talking all the time about Maldives, but we don't talk about Mauritius. That's also somewhere, it never comes into our imagination that how strongly we are connected with Mauritius and many other countries in this region. So that gives us an edge and advantage, and we really have to look at it. Let me just, 1 minute, maximum. And this is what I feel like. How many of us have read Abhimanyu Anand? Excellent book, Lal Pasina. He talks about how the Gilmitias has been taken from India. They were told that there are golds. Sona hai wahan pe chal ke aapko khodna hai. You will get gold. And ultimately they found, when they went, these laborers, they realized that they are brought here for plantations. And how they have built these countries. Mauritius, Fiji, these countries are built by the Indian people. Unka khoon pasina hai wahan. That kind of a cultural, historical, civilizational connect that we have with these countries. But unfortunately, Gilmitias is not in our school textbooks. There is no discussion, there is no chapter on them. Gilmitias are not a serious research topic in our think tanks. Why? Because again, as I said, there is so much of materialistic understanding of international relations that really eclipses our understanding about other issues. And as I said, that if we think of India's power in the world, it cannot merely be the material power. It has to be civilizational power, and it has to be civilizational connect. So I think some of these are great initiatives. Excellent initiative was the last year Fiji, the World Hindi Conference that happened in Fiji. Much more such initiatives are required. Of course, trade, the military, other parts are relevant. But if you do not connect by the cultural roots, it's very, very difficult, to really shape the world. And when we say global area, or when we say global South area, non-Western international relation, the non-Western international relation cannot really come from materialistic understanding of international relations. It has to be through civilizational point. So even if we are interested in theories, realism, liberalism, all of us believe that we are realists, we are liberal, but these are predominantly American theories. These are predominantly theories to justify what they have done all over the world. Because there is anarchy, because there is a power struggle, so everything is justified. So, can we come up with a non-Western ideas in international relations? And seminars like this, topic like this can be a beginning to really start a new discussion, a new debate, and that is a non-Western idea. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to give us.
Thank you, Dr. Tripathi. Now we have our presenter connected with us through online mode, and she is Dr. Pukrelo Kapesa, and she is from Department of Political Science, University of Allahabad, Prayagraj. She is an alumnus of Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi. So, technical team, can we connect with her?
of China's role as its indigenous in Africa. Then of course the most important in modern countries were 2013 World Growth Initiative, which was designed to reformulate the all-human trade growth along the East African coast. The World Growth Initiative showed a huge number of signatories of infrastructure projects built across Asia and Africa, funded by Chinese bonds, pushed by nature and policy development. Some African countries became heavily exposed to the Chinese lens during this period. The Chinese investment in Africa peaked around 2016. Since then, the loan to African governments declined significantly, falling from 88 billion in 2016 to just 149 billion in 2020. This is partly due to the changing priorities in domestic Chinese politics, as well as due to the apparent difficulties of African countries in repaying the Chinese loans. This has made commentators to argue that China is playing a debt trap diplomacy. As a part of the territory strategy to launch unmanageable sums to African countries, draw them into China's sphere of influence and force unfair commitments upon them. Some African nations do have expensive Chinese loans and are suffering from out of control debt, while other African countries have created realistic, manageable arrangements with China without the tremendous risks and uncertainties that characterize some major PRI projects. The PRI or the Belt and Road Initiative projects were largely uncoordinated and unplanned, with credit offered by competing Chinese lenders. Therefore, this contradicts the idea of the coherent state policy of China as put forward by some commentators. Although, of course, this cannot be fully ignored, as China is an emerging power, emerging superpower in strategic competition with the US, building larger economic and stronger economic relations with Africa would be a logical step towards this aspiration. So what future for China in Africa? China has in the past aggressively pursued repayment of its debt from African countries. However, this approach, or this aggressive approach has posed real problems for China's international standing as a champion or friend of the African nation. And this is where China needs to reorient policy, especially economic policy in Africa. And this is where India comes in. India-Africa relation is historical, which evidence that this practice of strong state is the inter-Chinese civilization and contact between India and ancient Egypt, among others. In the medieval period, there is expansion of commercial goods between the Mediterranean and Asia via Arabia, and the presence of Hindu traders on the southeastern African coast of Mozambique. And closer to present time, the African travel of the Visa and Hyderabad is another example, is another instance to show the historical and cultural ties in Africa. The historical aspect of African-Indian relations and political undertones too. India and Africa has both faced incursions of colonialism and interpretation, as the British colonial authorities ruled the subcontinent and large parts of Africa. This notion was also reinforced by India's support for anti-colonial liberation movements and independence of nations in the African continent, as well as India's solidarity in the Cold War in the 1960s. And if we look at the Indian Indian diaspora plays a very important role in the economic and cultural ties between the two countries. And as of 2000, in the Indian community exists Indian diaspora participates in 46 African nations. This is a great testament to the historical and cultural ties between India and Africa. India has, however, never been able to fully capitalize historical and cultural ties with Africa. This is, however, changing. And there is visible renewal energy and institutionalization in the India-Africa relationship as exemplified by frequent private publicity and initiatives as institutionalizing the relations. The country of India-Africa Project Partnership established in 2005 is what is a KSP board. And it arose from India's emphasis on economic collaboration with the continent. The project has been critical in encouraging Indian enterprises to establish presence in Africa. The founding of India-Africa Forum Summit in 2008 has helped institutionalize and formalize India's connection with its African partners, and is one of the most notable milestones in India-Africa relations in the present time. The cultural and economic aspects featured prominently in the current government policies, and this is also exemplified in the use of the image of Mohammed Al-Khalid to bolster India-Africa relations, although there are some unpleasant instances too. However, the country's recent move to expand its diplomatic and commercial representation within the African Union has strengthened ties with the majority of African nations, including measures that India took during the COVID pandemic, is a clear indication that India is interested in developing a more strategic and dynamic relation with Africa. There are some niche areas, or special niche areas where India-Africa relations can be focused and concentrated, different from the Chinese approach in Africa. First, of course, is the healthcare, in the health sector. Healthcare delivery is one of the major components of India's engagement and development cooperation with Africa, as evidenced by the 10 million USD India-Africa Health Fund, which was launched during the third India-Africa Summit in 2015. India and South Africa also come together in WTO to seek a waiver of the testing regime for COVID-19 vaccination. The initiative, for the most part, has been supported by African nations as evidence. This is an evidence that India and Africa show similar objectives and values. India has increasingly emerged as a appealing destination, medical tourism. Okay, Ishita, I'm going to it looks like there is something. Hello? Yeah. Am I audible? Yes. We have to there is also collaboration between Indian healthcare practitioners and African partners in healthcare accessibility and hospital establishment, among others. In response to the COVID-19 outbreak, in response to this outbreak, India has provided
Are you getting?
Yes, yes.
Just please introduce yourself.
Sure, sure. Okay, so apart from the healthcare sector, education and information technology is another interesting area of cooperation for Africa and India. But yes, just some good. As we have the brief overview or survey of the India-Africa relations, China-Africa relations, we can assume that India is well perceived as a partner and not a community power thanks to the long existing historical and cultural ties. The recent admission of African Union as a member of the G20, now G21, under India's presidency is also a happy coincidence in this action. That as highlighted by the different the historical and cultural ties, India seems to be carving a different kind of relation with Africa recently, which I have followed this from our external affairs minister of the India way in Africa. One in which there is no competition, or one in which India does not need to become another China. This is an important foreign policy direction. Serving the India way in Africa is significant not only in the context of India-Africa relations, but also to the larger Indian foreign policy. As we were unable to strengthen India's foreign policy objectives and one is found to be shaped by India and gives the much needed push to the African autonomy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kapisha. Now I would like to request Professor Mehta Alamri to kindly come to the stage.
Good afternoon. Namaskar. And thank you so much, first of all, Chair, as well as the moderator of this session. And today, Dr. we have the running shortage of time, so I will just give the major focus of the presentation, not go through the whole paper that I tried to prepare related to reunionize. And I will try to focus on the women, because women play a very, very important role to connect Indian culture as well Indian legacy in reunion. So I will give focus on that. If you go through the population wise in reunion, so total population of reunion, it is around 8,85,000. And out of 8,85,000, 2,50,000 are here. So we are in reunion more than 26%. But unfortunately, the reunion was governed or ran by the France. Or by today also, if you want to go the French story, if you are Indian or if you are from the another country, you require two types of permission. Number one, French visa, as well as the special permission from the Paris authority. So two types of permission we require to visit the Union Island. So I will focus on despite they have shared their passport from the France, they hold the French passport. Despite that, they have preserved the cultural and historical legacy of India in today also. When they went in 1848 around, or you can say in the 19th century, Indians, they are also indentured laborers. They went there during the agreement when it was signed in 1810, first from the British, then 1815 with the French colony. So that time, most of the Indians went there and tried to work in the plantation area of plantation field. During that time, these people are thought that we went there and after a certain period of time, we returned to the India. And very beautifully, Mr. Chuni also defined about how the Indians went there and faced the problem. And they went there for fifth time there, but they were not able to return to the India. So they have faced a lot of the problem in their country. If you go through the geographical location of this country, if you go through the total kilometers of the area that is covered by the reunion, it's around 65 kilometers long and 50 kilometers wide. And its population, I just told you, more than 8 lakhs there. So handsome population there, but our influence, of Bharat influence in this country are very, very less in Reunion Island. So how to promote our culture there, historical legacy, and also operate in a strategic as well as a political, as well as how we can connect with them. So we will also focus on that issue in detail. I met during the conference, I called two of the friends, those who are living in reunion. So one of Indian, I cannot say that because he hold a French passport. So he told that our nationality is a French, but we spiritually and culturally we are Indians. So Paul Kennedy, the president of GOPI. So he is the president of GOPI. So he said our passport is no doubt French, but at the same time, spiritually, culturally, we are Indian. Then I also got the chance to interact with another fellow who is again settled in reunion, and he said that I am a French national on record, but I feel like I have two mothers, a biological one and an adoptive one. So you know you are always in one of something until you have found your roots. So this type of feeling even today we used to find among the peoples who live in Reunion Island also. And they went there more than 100 years ago, or more than 150 years ago. So I will try to focus some more point because I am focusing here. The women played a very, very important role to preserve the culture of India. So because a French colony, even today French government not allowed to open the Indian in reunion. So women try to call some children in their houses and they try to teach them about the Indian culture, about the Indian thoughts, about the Ramayana, Mahabharata. So women playing a very, very important role. Even this is not the news. Even before 1947, they also used to talk about the Indian culture, or they talk about the spiritual legacy, and they also talk about the historical legacy of India. So they used to mobilize the children. We should not forget about our country, and we are still with the Bharat, and we should think about the Bharat, and we will also preserve that legacy again in near future also. But they want some help from the India side. So this is the basic purpose of the conference also. What Bharat can do for the people, those who are living in Reunion Island. Because their population are very good, if you go to the percentage are 27%. So they want some cooperations with Indian government or with our embassy, those who are settled in France. So this type of views also set by them. So time to time we can exchange our cultural relations, historical relations, and how to promote our strategic cooperation with reunion. So we should focus on that issue also. Another issue related to Creole society, because Creole society, because most of the influences go through the reunion. You will find the number of languages used to speak in this reunion, that is French or English, but the more two ethnic peoples living there, one is the Tamil, another one is the giraffes. So giraffe and Malabar in Tamil and giraffes are playing a very important, contributing very to the Union government also, because initially they went to work in the plantation field, but nowadays they are also running the industry there. And with the permission of a French government, they are also earning the good money, and they used to send their some extended family also. But even they are not aware from where these people come. So they are also looking help from the Indian government. My elder or my forefather from which state, from which village, from which state they used to go. So they want to do it in that village, that district also. So despite more than 150 years, they are still thinking about India. So my submission here is that how we can again extend our cultural cooperation and how our preserve our historical legacy, because this island is situated in Hind Mahasagar. Okay, so again, this island is situated in the Hind Mahasagar, so we should think about that issue. So this is the fruit for the thoughts, and we will elaborate more when we will try to write in the paper and publish the book. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Rizvi. William Shakespeare said, brevity is soul, and you have presented the soul here. I would now request Dr. Ihtisam Ulhaq to come on the stage and present his paper. Thank you.
Very good afternoon, and respected chair, organizers, thank you for inviting me. I'm a professor of engineering, electrical engineering, and I am told to, talk something about renewable energy sector cooperation between Africa and these countries. So, basically, my focus. I also heard that there is a shortage of time, so I'll just be specific. So I'll first mention that what is our strength, our means Bharat's strength in renewable energy, and where we need to cooperate, or we need to invest, or we need to, empower Africa and these countries. So installation of renewable energy-based power system is increasing exponentially at world level. This increase in installation is due to the concern of climate and shortage of conventional fossil fuels. Bharat has gained significant technological advancement in this area. The joint effort of government, industries and academic researchers of Bharat has resulted in achieving technological advanced position at world level. The installed capacity of renewable energy-based power plant in India is 43.24% as of the total installed capacity, which is a significant. As per United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, 17 sustainable goals are defined, and 7th goal is affordable and clean energy. It is for everybody, all across the globe. As per the world, now I'll focus where there is a shortage. So as per the World Economic Report 2022, Africa has the highest potential for solar power at world level. The data specialist Statistica rank Africa ahead of Central and South America, North America, Asia, Oceania, Russia for long-term potential solar energy output. Africa experienced high level of sunshine, presenting the region with a unique opportunity for harnessing solar energy. However, the region has not yet been able to take advantage of the lower cost PV technologies and attract investment to deploy them on a larger scale. As per the reports published in UNDP, this data is alarming. As per the report published at UNDP in 2021, only 0.6% of the $434 billion investment globally in renewable energy production went to African countries, the lowest investment since 2011. In Fiji, the theoretical potential of solar PV power generation was found to be 170 gigawatt hour per year, which is very huge, which would result in around 150,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide avoided emissions. We are all talking about zero carbon emission. So the position is underutilized. Bharat has great opportunity to empower these countries with transfer of technology and bring investment in solar PV based power plant setup. The opportunity in this area will start with these involvement as it will evolve many other areas of cooperation, that AI based design, solar inverters, reliability analysis, electric vehicles, etc. One example I could say, which is a common man can understand, like we are monitoring our health. जब हमें अपनी health monitor करनी होती है तो we use thermometers or we use BP machines. But how to monitor the health of the solar system which is running since last 9 years? So a condition monitoring AI-based system is developed. You connect, it will give the data that okay, I am healthy or my dispatched life is remaining. So this is what we have developed at research level. If we transfer all these things to Africa and Fiji and other countries, it will be a great contribution to empower these countries, not only in attaining that UNDP 7 goal, but also to empower their youth in education, in business, in economy, and it will open a new era of cooperation and supporting these countries from Bharat. This is my conclusion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Haq, for giving us perspective that what could be the future projection of cooperation in the power sector. Now I would like to request Dr. Rajesh Kumar Majhi ji to come on the stage, please, and present his book.
Honorable Alice, His Excellency, and the colleagues, and my greetings to all of you. Much has been spoken on diaspora and Grimedia, and the main thing about new trends. I'm not reading my full paper. I've been to Fiji and Mauritius twice. So whatever my personal experience, I would like to share those things with you. And new trends, about new trends is from Mauritius, and when I came to Mauritius in 2018, as per direction of MBA, Sushma Swaraj was that time minister, and she has selected me to present a paper and to edit that newsletter of World Hindi Conference. This time also I have been directed by Honorable External Affairs Minister and PMO to edit that paper. So in this way I been to those countries. When I've been to there and visited rural areas, some villages, my friends were there, so I've been to their houses, home. I would like to kindly allow me to use a few things in Hindi also. When I been to participate in a marriage ceremony in Mauritius, a few ladies were singing Bhojpuri songs. So I would like to sing that song. One lady was singing, कहवा से आवेला पियरिया पियरिया लागल झालर हो हे लालना कहवा से आवेला सिंहोरावा सिंहोरवा भरल सिंहोर हो ससुरा से आवेला सिंहोरवा सिंहोरवा भरल सिंहोर हो लालना नैहर से आवेला पियरिया पियरिया लागल झालर हो. This song was devoting that how they are connecting themselves with India. They are still preserving our languages like Bhojpuri and Awadhi. They are still using these languages in their houses. Dr. Sir has told about, she has written Kanyadan. When you read that book, it is totally about traditions of India, how they are preserving our Indian culture. In Kanyadan, it is a very voluminous book. So you all youngsters can have to read that book. And when we talk about Fiji, we are talking about new trends. Fiji is having Bhojpuri speaking union, Hindi speaking union, Tamil speaking union, several unions are there. Those unions are promoting our Indian languages. This week, because the fourth, fifth or sixth generations not assimilating, not associating themselves with our Indian culture. They are going towards English and French and other languages. So, to motivate them to connect themselves with India, these unions are working. And especially our forefathers, the ancestors who've been to Mauritius, Fiji, they started Baithaka. Baithaka is very familiar, Baithaka. And now in several ministries, in Fiji, Central Ministry and Mauritius, Government of India, that government has started Hindi courses. I would like to focus on Hindi especially. And when we talk about India Government of India started No India program. That No India program, through that program, students from primitive countries are coming to India with expenses scholarship of Government of India, and they are visiting several monumental places like Agra, Taj and other places, and they are getting knowledge, first-hand knowledge, and they are when they are going back to their country, they are spreading that knowledge. They are spreading this knowledge that how religious is this place. And apart from this, Mahatma Gandhi Central Antarashtriya Hindi Institute has started regional center in Fiji recently. And not only this, MEA, ICCR, Indian Council of Cultural Relations, has also started recently, last year only, a course that is, I'm forgetting that course name. They have started Hindi language program with IGNOU in association with Indira Gandhi National Open University. So last year they have started to attract Grimitiya students to know Hindi especially. And apart from this, from my end, I have founded an organization, Utsav Bharati Trust, in 2020, and I am organizing several online programs with Grimitiya countries. And Utsav is my son name and Bharati is my daughter's name. But that advertisement is that India is the country of festivals. So my first name is Utsav Bharati. This way, I am promoting our language, Hindi, Bhojpuri and Awadhi and other language, and inviting the new, I can say, younger generation of those countries and established writers also to participate in this online program. And this way I am also gaining my knowledge, enhancing my knowledge day by day. And when we talk about Fiji, High Commission of Fiji in India has started Fiji Sandesh as per direction of Sushma Swaraj in 2018 itself. And Yogesh Punjaji has approached my university, Jamia Islamia, to kindly allow me to edit that newsletter, that magazine. So since that time, I am editing that magazine, Hindi newsletter, Fiji Sandesh. This way, India and Fiji and other countries' relationship is strengthening day by day. This is my submission, this is my presentation. Whatever I have discussed, I am sorry if something went wrong. So thank you, organizers, for inviting me.
Dr. Rajesh Ji. What a wonderful recitation of the Bhojpuri song that actually reflects interconnectedness. Now, one speaker, Professor Wakangu Nathan, he is joining us from Uganda, Dean, School of Arts and Social Sciences, Kampala University, Uganda. So, the presenter would be connecting us with online ICT. Are we ready with that? are we able to connect with her? Okay, she is not able to unmute herself. Okay, so ask her to rejoin the Google Meet. Maybe she would be able to. Okay. There is a slight technical glitch from the side of the presenter. She is in Uganda. Hopefully we'll be able to catch her in the next academic session. And now I would like to request the chair of this session, Professor Abujit Kari, to give his chair's remark. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. This is my moral duties just to conclude the session. And before concluding the session, I am requesting all the scholars who are sitting here, you have a time, 5 minutes time. You should ask some questions from the audience. It is very helpful for you. पूछिए आपने से कोई भी प्रश्न पूछिए, यहाँ पे मास्टर बैठे हुए हैं, मास्टर के हैं, उन्हीं से पूछिए, हिंदी भी जानते हैं, भोजपुरी भी जानते हैं, कुरान शरीफ you can ask any question, either in any language. पूछिए, बहुत अच्छा रहेगा आप लोगों के लिए भी थोड़ा इंटरैक्टिव भी। अच्छा, चलिए कोई बात नहीं है, you can keep in your mind because sure.
My friends, those who are interested to know about Fiji, my 2 books are there. It is available on Grimmitya Bharatvanshi. It is published by MEA, Ministry of External Affairs. Grimmitya Bharatvanshi. It has been, I have written in Bhojpuri. Now it is available in Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, and Assamese. And one recently, MEA has directed me, Modi has directed me to publish a special book from this World Hindi Conference. I have edited a book, Fiji mein Hindi Vivek Prasad. So these books are there, and one book I have translated. My back journey from Fiji to India, it is written by Sunita Ramayani. I have translated that book into Hindi, and it is going to be published by Vardhan City. So these books are there. Who are interested to know about Fiji, these books are there. Thank you, sir.
Well, all the sessions we were doing very well in this session. We have 6 speakers and 6 speakers are here. All the speakers they have, very presented very well and very, expressive, very remarkable things. Either Ambassador, His Excellency, who has presented about Bharat Grimmitya. The Grimmitya itself is a word which is derived from the Awadhi or Bhojpuri. Because when the laborers or what Indians had gone from here during the time of British, and they were saying this agreement with Grimmitya, it is the agreement, but they never say like this, agreement, Grimmitya. And it was still, it is a, now we are also thankful to this organization who is organizing this conference and who have not coined and drive, they have revived this word basically. So this is the time for the revival of this word Grimmitya between India and Africa. Okay. That is the very important aspect between these 2 countries. If we can see that physically we are very far, India and Africa, but we are very much connected with physically far away, but culturally and spiritually we are very close to each other. For example, you can see how the ambassador is sitting here and he is speaking very well Hindi and he is very versed. So that's why every, the African countries, whatever they are there, and the Indian government are also promoting, and Indian government are providing so many scholarships to the African countries also. Either for the ICCR, students are coming from not only the one part of the Africa, because Africa is a very almost more than 50 countries. And the students are coming here, just they are doing their bachelor, master, technical courses, and PhD program also. And obviously,
in that country, the people they have maintained there. For example, our Rajesh Kumar, he has mentioned that he has gone to the Fury at the time of the Hindi Divas in Fiji. And the simple places, they are organizing like this conference, especially in Mauritius, Fiji, and other places also. Because everywhere you go and you will find all the Indian businessmen, Indian scholars are now teaching there. For example, Ethiopia, Uganda, and other places also, where the people there during the time of Rwanda-Burundi conflict, but people they worked there in that country. They didn't, imitate any of kind of this thing. So this, the first our speaker he was the ambassador, Ambassador Chuni. He presented a very well research paper, and he has described and he has focused, highlighted about the Agaliga. And now India will, of course, India is ready, and India is doing all kinds of things. And our Dr. Dhananjay, next speaker is Dr. Dhananjay, has pointed out to the higher concept of the higher theory. And from that, he mentioned about what this is going on in that country, and about the Lal Hasina and everything he has mentioned in this document. And Dr. Kapisa, presented through online from the Allahabad Institute, and she has presented a very well research paper on that Indian diaspora. And our fourth speaker is Professor Rizvi. Of course, we are very happy about the Professor Mehta Rizvi, who was very active in this field. Who is, the Indians now they have ignored so many things, and he himself and his organizations are reviving all this. Because I was last semester, last year conference, I was there. Then I saw how they have their working. This time I came there only today itself. I was not there yesterday. But anyway, this is because the concept of how the inclusiveness of the Indian society and Indian politics. We are very much aware, as you know, the Panchtantra. Panchtantra is from the Indian, and it was translated during the time of Pahlavi, Iran, Persian Empire, and this was not after some time when next the Arab city translated into Arabic, and after that this book was very much popular in the other countries. But originally this is from India, and same thing, the astronomy, mathematics, it was translated, and so many scholars who were knowing the Sanskrit language, and they were living in that other country. Always India is always ready to promote and maintain its relationship with the other countries also. And of course, Dr. Shamal Haq has presented the paper, it is on the solar energy. And solar energy, which is a very important aspect in the 21st century. And every country now, their requirement, they have a requirement, that's why every country now they needs, and maybe his idea it will be helpful between the India and Africa. And our Rajesh Kumar, since the speaker is Rajesh Kumar, who has presented very well, and his song, very one Bhojpuri song also. This was very, it means he is knowing all the aspects of the inner side. The people now they are living in Fiji or Mauritius or other countries. So in this world, now I am thankful to all the speakers, and I am thankful to the organizer, and I am thankful to all the speakers, now those who are speaking here, and our organizer just he told me just finish before 1:30 because other things is ready. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Ujjwal Khaisa, the chair of this session. This panel has actually covered 360-degree, aspect of this Grenadier nation and India relationship. Somebody says that if music be the food of, thought, let's play on. So I don't want to be a dampener here in, food and yourself. So please join us for the lunch. Thank you very much to the chair and all the panelists here and audiences. Thank you very much once again. We'll reassemble here at 2:30 for the Harmonic Carry session.